What up, everybody? Welcome to episode 28 of the Nerd Outlet Podcast. Joining me, as always, Greg. What up, dude?
What's up, nerds?
Gabe, what's good, bro?
What up, what up?
Young Haller, what's up?
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. So I like the little reference you did right now. What did you guys think of Guardians 2?
Guardians of the Galaxy 2
It sucks.
is my favorite Marvel movie now.
Hands down.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
I don't know. It might be
It's
tied with
between
the
that and
first
Guardians
one.
one.
Yeah,
I
but the
mean,
Guardians movies are easily the best Marvel movies.
Yep, they're my two favorites. So I mean, like, worst case scenario, I think Guardians 1 is better a month from now. But like, yeah, I've had what? How long have we had?
Oh, a week and a half?
Yeah, a week and a half. I've had about a week. 'Cause
Yeah.
I watched it a couple days before or after it was released. Yeah, I said it was better at first, but I wanted to think about it. I've been thinking about it, and it's still better in my head. I like that how it's a little bit more of a closed story, and it's not this like, hey, we're going everywhere. But that only works for a sequel, in my opinion. Does that make sense? Like, what made this movie good was only because Guardians 1 did what it did.
Yeah.
So, perfect sequel, in my opinion.
I would agree, but I still prefer the first movie, just because they, like I said, they go to so many other places. And then especially now knowing that seeing the second one kind of puts the first movie into a higher light, in my opinion, because you see his dad, who's a Celestial, and then it throws you back to the first movie where they're in the head of a Celestial when they go to nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's just fucking Kurt Russell, man.
Yeah, he was amazing. He
He's
killed
so
that
awesome.
role.
Yeah.
He's definitely a better villain though than
No,
the,
yeah.
the villain in the first movie. I don't remember too much, I guess.
That's
from
my
the first
issue is
Guardians.
the-
I need to rewatch it.
That's my issues. I think Kurt Russell was so much better.
That
I
is
mean,
true.
like, what was... I can't...
I don't even
what
remember
was-
his name. I just know he's a blue dude.
The Ronin?
Right.
I think
Yeah,
his name
that's
is-
it. I think that's it.
Yeah.
But the issue is that he's just a basic villain.
Yeah.
What I like about this one is that I mean, yes, they are the Guardians of the Galaxy by the end of this movie, and I'm trying to say this without spoilers, but, like, there's a lot more at stake than just the world exploding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's any emotional investment between the group and, their enemies.
Yeah, and
Whether it's funny, whether it's emotional, whether it's, anything. That's
And
That's
all
what
the
I like.
characers get fleshed out more. Too,
Yeah,
because
especially
even
Drax.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that.
like
Drax was so much better than this.
yeah, I mean the core group as well as Nebula
that
and
was awesome,
Yondu,
too.
like
yeah,
huge standout in that movie.
and then
Yondu
When they
and
bring-
Drax are my
Yeah.
favorites.
when they bring in Sylvester Stallone too, that was pretty legit.
Oh yeah, Sly.
Dude, but what's so nice about it is, like, I sit there, like, what I just did in my head was, yeah, Yondu and Drax are my favorite, but Rocket Raccoon had amazing lines. They
Hey,
had
Bradley
some
Cooper.
of the funniest, like, moments. I'd say the only character that didn't have, like, I wouldn't say wish, but, like, Gamora's storyline with Nebula was pretty cool, but, like, I don't know. If
Yeah, she was
anything
kind of
felt
in the
forced-
back seat on this
Yeah.
whole movie.
If anything felt forced, it was that. I mean, but at this point, I'm literally just, like, trying to find things to nitpick at. So, I mean, like, yeah, if I were to say what's the weakest character link, it's probably the Nebula and Gamora storyline in this one. But,
yeah, Andy
like-
just let us know who the villain was. It's Ronan the Kree.
I
yes,
called it.
that's it.
Okay, so
He
he's
said
a
it's
Kree.
basically just Thanos' bitch, though.
I mean, yeah, he
Yeah.
is. But, like, the thing is, like, he was just your basic, I'm evil, I want to destroy the world, revenge fight.
Right.
While this one, I don't know, it just had a little bit more of a
It was more personal.
personal, yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was personal, but, like, yeah, I mean, there's just more meaning. I'm tired of this, like, every single bad guy being like, I want to destroy the world. That's why I'm really stoked for Thanos, because he's kind of just watching this shit unfold for right now. And it's like, I think
He's
not
just so
showing him-
badass, too.
not showing him and just, like, thinking, dude, this dude's literally just, like, kind of watching this shit, and he's like, all right, gonna dust this glove off real quick and fuck these bitches up now. Like, that just makes Thanos, I don't know, it builds Thanos a little bit more, as opposed to, like, because we know we're getting Darkseid right in the beginning of Justice League, you know? We're not getting that. We're getting that Darkseid's probably going to be this I want to destroy the world, and that's all I want to do thing with Justice League. Well, like Thanos is like it's kind of a game to him.
Yeah.
At this point, it's definitely a game.
Yeah.
Just watching
So.
things unfold.
Yeah, it's really good. Great movie of the year so far for me.
Go see it. Go see
Yeah.
Guardians 2.
Pure fun for I wouldn't say all ages because some of the jokes are a little bit too much, but yeah,
It's pretty much for everybody though.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. As long as you're not like a little kid, but
I mean,
some
who,
of those
who
things
can
will,
deny Groot? Like,
true.
Little baby Groot.
Did you guys watch after the credits?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
bro.
all 5 of them.
Oh, yeah.
They're awesome, dude. I don't know, man. This movie was so good. I don't know if you noticed either. They some people's names when the credits were rolling said "I am Groot," and then they would translate to their actual real name.
Yeah.
it was cool. Just a little cool stuff. But it was definitely the funniest Marvel movie I've ever seen, man.
Yeah.
And the
Just-
action was great.
For me, it has everything. Like
Yep.
it has your romance, it has your action, it has your sci-fi, which I mean I care about, and then comedy.
Yeah.
So it's all there,
Dude, it definitely is like the Star Wars of Marvel.
pretty much.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. So, and I'm glad that there's a lot less, though it is the Star Wars of Marvel characters. Like this one felt like it had more of an identity. Like I guess because there's already one out there, but I don't know. James Gunn I mean, I think he's the best writer in Marvel. I mean, you could be up for debate if he's the best director, but
How many directors did we have do sequels in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Not many. That's
I
what I was
have no
gonna
idea.
ask.
Did John
if he-
Favreau do?
yeah, he did
The
the first two.
He did Iron
He
Man
didn't
1 and
do,
2?
yeah, he didn't do
Yeah,
three.
okay.
Okay,
Is James Gunn coming back for the third one, or
Yep.
is that not? Okay,
Yeah,
he
he's
is?
already said it.
that's crazy.
Alright,
He's already
yeah, that's
writing it.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I'm
Also,
so
shout out to his brother. He's fucking awesome in the movie.
Yeah, he's he's Yondu's I wouldn't say side bitch, but
Basically,
He's based-
he's
Oh,
like
well,
his
that's-
sidekick, whatever his
That's
name
his
is.
brother, the guy who like stays loyal
Yeah,
to
that's
him.
James
Yeah,
Gunn's
isn't he
brother.
Oh,
from
that's
Gilmore Girls?
awesome.
Yeah, he's in Gilmore Girls. I forgot what
yes,
his name
he's
is.
the dude
but-
that has like the weird jobs and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
he's
mom.
awesome.
Make sure you get a little bit
Yeah.
closer. Thank you. Yeah, Guardians. That's Guardians. We got some small news on a tad little indie game that was revealed today.
It's not a big deal.
Not a big deal, but you know,
I think it's
we
called
saw some
Destiny.
Destiny 2, bruh.
Destiny 2.
Shouts out Destiny 2. The game is gonna suck up so many hours of my life for the next 2 years.
Dude, we'll get to it in just a second, but like, yeah, I'm gonna lose more hours, I think, in
For
this
sure.
game than the
Notes,
first one.
though.
So, I mean, we first saw the
Yeah.
leak of it, right? Somebody leaked.
Yeah,
I think like
I think it was like a
box
it was,
art of it.
Yeah, it was a box art and then a whole bunch of like
Posters.
screenshots where
It
you
was
saw like
posters. That's
It's
what
like
it was.
marketing stuff.
Yeah, it was marketing stuff for like GameStop. and
So
stuff.
we knew it was real, and then we got pre-orders and a release date.
yeah.
So we knew it was
September
coming out in
8th.
September.
Yeah.
And then like all the special editions and stuff, and then they announced that they were going to do a gameplay reveal trailer today.
Yep.
So that's what we saw, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So
Hey.
I'm gonna go through this as quick as I can because it is a good amount of notes. But this is basically everything we gathered from the actual conference today. So one thing I wanted to put out on the top is that side characters like Zavala, like Cade 6, you know, the people that you've basically just been running up to
Getting
get,
quests.
to get quests and gear, and that's it. All these characters that are actually cool, and like you see them in and Taken King was like our first step of that. Seeing Cade have a little bit more of a role, see him really funny, see the banter between all the people.
Right.
Well, now they're actually going to be in the game. The first thing they showed,
And they kick ass.
yeah, the first thing.
All
What's
of
her
them.
name? What's her name? I'm drawing a blank.
Ikora.
Ikora, dude.
That was the sickest part.
Yeah, so
Dude.
she jumps up and you see her at first and she like has this badass one line. Jumps up in the air when this Cabal ship is coming to attack us. Throws her Void Super,
The Nova Bomb.
the Nova Bomb, onto the fucking like left side or the right side. So the whole right wing just explodes and she jumps onto it and you see it like start going, I guess, back to the big ass ship and she's on top of it and I'm like, that was fucking badass. No, but you see like Zavala like within a minute, like seeing them in the game, and I'm just like, dude, that just makes just from someone like me that's played Destiny,
Yeah.
how many hours? I don't know. Definitely people who've played so much more than us, but it's nice to see these people actually in the game as opposed to just being like
Quest givers.
quest givers.
Right, and
And
be
I love how they
central
worked it
characters in the story
Yep.
Yeah.
instead of just whoever the random stranger or whoever it was in the first game. That's like that wizard came from the moon.
I hope they just never show her again, or they just show her dead body.
I mean, according to
Useless character.
the lore that we have,
She died.
that's left over from the story and then from Grimoire cards. Shout out Grimoire cards, which we hopefully don't have any more of.
Or
But
hopefully they implement them in a cool way, like audio logs or something.
no, yeah. But from what I know, if that stranger, whatever her name is, I mean, they call her the stranger. If we ever are to see her again, it's going to be in the Osiris expansion. Because technically she's supposed to be an agent of Osiris.
That'd be cool. We'll probably definitely see her. Yeah, like you said. Well, they're doing the Trials of Osiris.
Is that the
Expansion.
first one?
Oh, I can't remember. I think it is the first one,
Oh, okay.
and then the second one is
I can't remember what I just know Osiris is one and then there's another one.
yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, so that's the first thing. I think that's really cool. So not only are we just getting them in more cutscenes and more, cinematics as they like to call it in the marketing jargon.
But they're
we're
going to
actually
be
gonna see them
central
again.
characters in the story.
Yep.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Especially
They'll all get their
Savara.
own planets and like areas too.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second. New weapon system, and that doesn't mean that I mean there might be new types of weapons and like different types of damage or something like that. We're definitely seeing different types of weapons like grenade launchers,
Gatling gun.
Gatling guns, and stuff like that we saw in the actual gameplay. But now you so back in the day you had 3 weapon slots. You had your primary, you had your special weapon, and you had your heavy. Your heavy are your machine guns and your rocket launchers. Your specials are your snipers, your sidearms, your fusion
Shotguns.
rifles, shotguns, stuff like that. And then your primary was, a rifle or a hand cannon of some sorts.
Yeah.
Gone is that. Now you have 3 slots, and one is kinetic weapons, which are going to be just regular bullets, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Then you have an energy weapon, so you only have one
Dude,
energy
I'm
weapon to have.
so glad they have that now.
Yeah, and then you have a power weapon. But basically, what they said is it's going to allow you to basically customize your 3 weapons a whole lot more than what the previous one was doing.
Yeah.
So I'm super stoked for that. And it looks like it's going to be the same pickup system of ammo to where they pick up. And I'm assuming, yeah, they're all going to be the same colors. So your power is going to be probably your purple, while your energy is going to be your green ammo, and then you get the white ammo for your what they're calling the kinetic one. But it just allows for you to customize a little bit more.
I think that's cool.
No, yeah. I like it a lot, honestly.
For someone like me, for someone like me and him, to where you start getting into the meta of the guns.
It just offers more flexibility too.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's what Jason Schreier said on Kotaku. He said it makes it a lot more flexible.
Yeah, for sure.
Another thing, so we're basically getting a streamlined director, and what that means is like the director is like when you go to orbit, you click the director and you decide which planet to go to and what area inside of that planet to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Now that director can be accessed anytime.
Full map.
Full map. Anywhere you go, I'm assuming there's going to be a full map with areas that tell you this is where it's at.
And
we'll
what
get to
time
that,
things
yeah.
will start.
We'll get to that in a second. That's
You don't have to go to orbit.
No,
But basically,
thank
yeah.
you.
you can go to a
For new
different
missions.
planet in a different area in that planet without going to orbit at all.
Hey.
And I'm assuming
In a way, basically makes the game open world.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
you go to
it's basically like open
planets.
world like Witcher, where there's 4
right.
big open areas, and that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Before you
Yeah.
go on I want to ask you guys if you guys noticed this when they were showing off the maps, right?
Uh-huh.
And they show all the beacons and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then the one beacon for adventure, they showed a tiny one, but at the left side of the map, it was like a bigger one. Do you think there's gonna be like?
Smaller adventures, bigger adventures.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. This is the next part. So what he's talking about is basically they announced that there's new social activities as well.
Mhm.
And those social activities include adventures. So these are going to be kind of the quests inside. So
Like
basically, if
side
you played
missions.
Destiny 1, you had patrol zones. What patrol zones
Boo.
were basically
So boring.
the main.
For
Yeah,
real.
if you went to the moon or the Earth, basically it's just the foundation of the map,
Right.
and you go around and you get these boring ass patrol missions, and sometimes a public event pops up out of nowhere. Sometimes.
Yeah, and you have to use apps or go on other like timed websites, and then sometimes like it'll be like, hey, a satellite's gonna drop from the sky here, and you're gonna need it if you want to get a sleeper stimulant. Oh wait, that one just got skipped, but it's all the way across the map, and you only got 5 minutes to get there
Yeah.
before it allows you.
Yeah, so we have adventures. Yeah, so they're going to be kind of like little quests scattered around the map. You have lost sectors, and what they're describing it as is dungeons with bosses who have keys. Whether
Hey.
these,
Sounds
whether these
dope.
things are like splicer keys or something else that you can use in other activities remains to be seen. But basically, it looks like the dungeons that are like in Horizon. Hopefully,
Yeah.
maybe. And what I hope is these new social activities, like the adventures in lost sectors, this is where they start bringing you the grimoire lore, as opposed to, getting a little fucking card.
Yeah. You
Um,
discover things, learn more about the
yes.
worlds, and learn
yeah,
that.
there's going to be new patrol zones still. There's still going to be, but they said they're going to be a lot more interesting. And then there's going to be public events still. But the thing that's what you were just saying, which relates to this, that's really cool is every single public event, or basically any of these types of activities that are timed activities, meaning, hey, in 15 minutes, this thing's going to pop up at 2 p.m. Now in game we get to see when these activities, where they're going to be exactly on the map,
Yeah.
and when they're going to activate. So gone are the days to where you have to get another app to basically do something. And it sounds like that's the main focus of Destiny is like they're trying to get you.
To stay in Destiny.
Yeah,
And not
well,
have, like, a phone
I
in
can't.
one hand
I'm
all the
gonna
time.
kind of paraphrase it, but like Luke Smith said it on one of the vidocs in there. They want to shorten the time between you shooting and an enemy, basically.
Yeah.
Like between each enemy, they want that time to be shortened, basically.
Yeah.
So, gone are you, logging onto the game, going into orbit, going to the tower, getting your bounties, going back to a loading screen to go to orbit, pick where you want to go, then load again. Like, that's all gone now.
Yeah.
So, you load into the game, like, I'm assuming it loads you where you were last or something like that, or you get to choose or something like that, and that's it. You get to go from there. Let's see. So there's 4 new areas that they discussed. The one that is on Earth is the European Dead Zone.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
So if you're really big into Destiny, what a lot of people know in the through leaked stuff and information from anonymous sources is that the European Dead Zone was an area that was going to be in the original Destiny that was cut. I can't remember if it was early on or later on into the development, but it was basically this really badass area in Europe that is supposed to be visually striking.
Yeah.
And from what we saw in the during the event, it does look like that. And then there's 3 moons, I think. I think they're all moons, or one of them might be a planet. Titan, Io, and Nessus.
Nessus is the one that I don't know if it's a planet or a moon.
Yeah,
I know,
I don't know. That's
Io
the one.
and the other
Io
one
and Titan are moons.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about these 3 latter areas is that at some point in the actual campaign, what are their names? Zavala's going to be on Titan, Ikora's going to be on Io, and Cade is going to be on Nessus.
Nessus
gonna
is
be
the
their own-
Cloud City one, right?
No, I think Nessus is the one with the crazy ass waves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Cloud City one, the one where
Okay,
it's,
okay.
it's just an ocean and they.
You mean Camino?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
my
I was
bad.
like,
Pete.
there are no
Cloud City.
My bad. My bad. People.
Yeah, yeah.
I
feel
got
you.
confused.
I got you.
But yeah, that's basically that. Then going to Crucible, they showed that there's going to be a new game mode called Countdown,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying it is a attack and defend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
game mode.
that's all I care about. The Crucible.
PvP instead of being 6v6 is going to be 4v4 now. So it looks like they're going for the more traditional
I have a
shooter.
question about that for you and Greg, because I never really got to play that much actual like Halo online.
Mm-hmm.
What is Halo? Is Halo 4v4?
Yeah.
So what do they mean though? Like, why would they go from 6v6 to 4v4? What is it going to do? Like more tighter maps?
Tighter maps. It's gonna probably allow better map design because they're smaller. It's gonna make the matches quicker because they're smaller.
Yeah.
Because Halo's always been you're in and out. But the issue I have with Destiny sometimes is you'll be in a game for 15 minutes. It's like, fuck, this is kind of long.
Yeah.
You know. But basically, it's just gonna make so like something like Control, the zones are gonna be that much closer, meaning they're gonna be that much more hectic. Meaning probably,
B's still gonna suck.
B's
on every
gonna
map.
suck, and it depends on. But this might allow them to take some of the chokehold points off B
Yeah.
and allow them to put more choke points on A and C. Kind of like what, or they might do it to where there's not one in the middle anymore. And I think what they should do
I really hope
is
they
do
don't.
something to where they're all just spread out.
Yeah.
And the middle is like an area to where like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I mean, we have to see more
Yeah.
to see what they're doing
yeah,
map design wise.
They didn't even show us any Crucible gameplay, so we have no idea what
we
it's
don't
gonna
know.
look like
And then
or
another
play.
thing,
I assume that's what the beta is going to give us a taste of, for sure.
Oh yeah, I think the beta is going to give us a strike, a few missions, an open area so you can do the social activities, and Crucible. It's going to give us a taste of everything except the raid, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure we'll see the strike though at PlayStation's E3 conference.
Oh yeah, and then they'll give information on the raid,
Yeah.
and then they'll give more information on Crucible. But basically, they didn't talk much about Crucible, and what kind of bummed me out is that this is a perfect time to do it.
Dedicated servers.
Yeah, we have no information on if there's going to be dedicated servers, but also we don't have any word on if this is going to be 30 frames a second still on console, or 60 frames a second, or PvE's 30 and then PvP's 60, kind of like what Gears of War does. But I was talking to Andy about it earlier, and he brought up a good point that it would be really jarring going from one PvE thing at 30 frames a second and then going to something else. Crucible wise at 60, because like something like Gears of War 4 does it. It works for Gears of War 4 because you have the campaign, and you're either playing the campaign or you're playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
There's not this mix of going back and forth.
Right.
So it works for something like that. You can play the 8-hour campaign, or however long, I don't know how long it is on Gears, and play it in 30, and then you go to the multiplayer, and it'll be jarring at first. You're like, oh, this is a lot of frames. Or it might be jarring if you're going for multiplayer, the single player for a little bit. But yeah, if you're doing that constantly, if you're going back and forth constantly like that, within a day, yeah, that would be jarring. So that means this has to be one frame, or one thing or the other.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the biggest disappointment out of all this for at least the console, because we already have information. They're basically, you're getting every single feature you want on PC, whether it's ultra widescreen, field of view sliders, unlimited frame rate, whatever you want to do. They're basically giving you all that. Also,
shouts out Blizzard.
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second too. But yeah, 60 frames a second. How do you guys feel about that? If this game is going to be 30 frames a second again on console?
I don't have a problem with it because
It's
basically
just
every
more.
game I play is 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't see how they would do it any other way. They're not going to have the entire game running at 60 frames when it's like all of this content, so many different worlds loading in. It's just a lot. Like, the game's massive.
The game is massive. I'll give you that. But
I feel like, I mean, Halo was only capable of doing it on console because of like how linear the campaign was. Well, actually, the campaign wasn't even 60, was it? It was just the multiplayer.
no, it was all 60.
It was all 60?
was all
Okay.
60.
Yeah.
What they did is they did a dynamic resolution
Oh, okay.
to where things you're not really noticing, like maybe the grass while
So,
you're
like,
running.
some of the textures were like
yeah,
low
they'll lower
res
the texture of
until
like
you looked at it, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather just have the whole game fidelity-wise look fantastic and then run at 30.
See, this is
like
my
standard.
issue. And
Unless it dips with all these new effects, because like what we saw was giant metal balls hurling from the sky, hitting like on the ground right in front of you, and then
Yeah.
enemies popping out. So if the
Yeah,
frame
that
rate
was
dips
so
there, with those kind of things, or like all the fire effects that they're using,
Yeah.
that might be an issue.
So, yeah, let me get what I exactly said to him because it was a really good point. There's one issue I have when it comes to just a like future-proofing the game point to where it's 2017. And you look at shooters and the thing is what is like the main thing you want in a shooter? You want it to be precise and you want it to be as fast as it can be. Not fast as it can be. Meaning, hey, this is the speed that Bungie was intending to do. Therefore, I want that speed. As opposed to, just because Titanfall and Call of Duty are both 60 frames a second, that doesn't mean that they're the exact same speed. It means that they're getting the same amount of frames per second. Because Call of Duty is much faster than Titanfall, in my opinion, when it comes to just aiming down sights and stuff like that. And just looking at it, Call of Duty is 60 frames a second. Titanfall is 60. Most Battlefields, other than every Battlefield on the console except the new one, Battlefield 1, is 60. Overwatch is 60. Paladins is 60. Doom is 60. Battlefield is 60. Or Battlefront is 60. And maybe there's some other games I'm missing that are popular multiplayer games. But every single game is 60 frames a second right now, except Destiny when it comes to competitive shooters. And I'm saying if they want to stay in the competitive market, it's going to be jarring for new people. They want new people to come in. And what you need to do is make sure you're in the same playing field as everybody else. And what they're doing is not that. The PC market, that's going to be whatever because you get to do whatever you want. But what if you're a 10-year-old kid and you don't know what frames a second is, but you're playing Call of Duty and you like how fast it is, and you go and play this and you're like, this is fucking slow. Because
Maybe.
Because Titanfall, I don't think Titanfall can be as fast as it can at 30.
No. I just feel like the technology is not there yet for this kind of game because I think of Destiny, you have to think of Destiny as like an open world game at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a shooter and the way it's built. Like the way the game's built is to be like a shooter MMO.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a full MMO either.
That's true.
So,
that's the issue. Which one are you going to stick with? So are we just going to get half of the cool features from a MMO and half of the cool features from a first-person shooter?
I don't even think that's what makes it
never,
unique.
that's never what
that's what makes it cool. I don't really have a problem with the frame rate again, like unless it's.
But you've never been a frame rate guy.
No, I'm literally not going to notice, and I feel like most people, unless you're playing exclusively shooters all the time, are going to notice. I don't think you're going to notice because most games run at 30 frames on a console.
Yeah.
That's like the standard of all games. Like if you're like for most developers,
I'm saying they're trying to capture the market of competitively. They're trying to capture the same market as all these other games. And what I'm saying is,
I don't think they're trying to compete in the same space.
I'm just saying,
I don't think they're trying to compete with Halo
like,
or with Titanfall right now or Call of Duty.
Do what?
I don't think they're trying to compete with like as far as their PvP goes with
I
Halo
think they
and
are.
Call of Duty.
Then why did they make Call of Duty World War II again? What they're trying to do is they're trying to take the people who still want futuristic stuff in Call of Duty and bring them over to Destiny, while Call of Duty goes back to its set pieces.
I know, but I'm saying like Bungie as a company isn't trying to focus on esports. Unlike 343 when they made Halo 5, their entire focus for the entire fucking game was esports.
That they're doing esports stuff for Destiny.
Are they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like
I didn't even
the
see
writing
that.
on the wall says they want to be like every other shooter, but then they aren't.
No.
That's the issue I'm having. It's because they are doing esports stuff, but then they're going to be the slowest
Yeah,
we'll
we'll see how that does.
They're basically setting themselves up to be the laughing stock.
I guess that is true because I did see a couple like esports teams. I think in the crowd
when
they
they
showed crowd shots. Yeah,
yeah. I think they don't have anything like 100% announced, but they have said that they are doing esports.
Okay.
And they're doing
we'll see.
So what they're doing now is they're doing these small little ones. They're not doing like what Halo does with ESL, where they have a league.
Right.
But I'm assuming what they're trying to do with Destiny 2 is create a league. And what I'm saying is when you have the specs, it would be like if every single game was 1080p and then yours was 720p and it looked like shit. I mean, Halo gets a lot of the laughing. It's the laughing stock in graphics out of all of these games. And I'm just saying when it comes to the speed, and this is what I'm saying, that graphic fidelity that you like, that's gonna pull me in what, the first 20 hours of Destiny. But like, dude, when I'm in my 100th or 150th hour of Destiny, what's keeping me there? The gameplay. And I think that frame rate changes gameplay, but it's just something a lot of people on, and it's the internet. You're gonna take what
You're
the
just
internet
over
says.
here on your PC high horse with all your
Just get it on
frames
PC,
and
bro.
all your high resolution
you know it.
shit.
At 1080p.
Yeah, it's
My high
1080p.
resolution.
It's so HD.
But talking about PC, since Activision is the publisher,
Right.
Blizzard is part of Activision, and we got an announcement that Destiny will exclusively be played through Battle.net.
Hey,
That is dope.
I love
What that allows, and basically, is to have great functionality and service. That's just a breath. It's a sigh of relief to a lot of PC gamers, because
You look at all of Blizzard's games.
yeah,
How they're all still running.
they're all still
Yeah.
running.
Still have huge communities.
Yep.
Nobody's like
No one ever
complaining
wants to
about
leave them.
server issues all the time.
And there's
or
not
the
like
games
one
dropping.
Yeah, and basically what that means is it's gonna get the attention of those as well. It's gonna get the same amount of attention on PC as other Blizzard games do on PC.
Sure.
Because that would be bad for Blizzard that you pop up your Blizzard launcher and 5 of the 6 games work. No, they want every single game to work just as great as the other.
Right.
And that's just gonna it means that they want to make sure that this game is working flawlessly every single year for the next 3 years. So I am ridiculously excited for that.
Should be cool. Going back to just PvP real quick. Something Andy kind of brought up that I think is an issue with Destiny trying to be like an esports kind of shooter is balance, which we already discussed. Like going from 6 to 4, I think helps with balance, but also just the fact that there's a million different combinations of armor and weapons and all this. Like I never felt that the multiplayer was balanced at all when I played Crucible.
And that's my biggest issue.
Like
with
I felt
Crucible.
like anybody that had higher level gear than me had an advantage every single time.
Yeah.
And I feel like with other shooters, like sure you can progress faster than some other people and get those weapons faster, but even still there's an even playing field. Especially with Titanfall, I feel like the balance there is just perfect. Where you can start off with whatever like starting weapon you have, and as long as you know what you're doing, like you can hold your own.
And this is why I still say that there needs to be a bare bones-esque mode.
Yeah, I mean
There needs to be-
they would have to like make
like-
a mode that is their esports.
It's their
mode.
esports mode. Well,
Yeah.
that's what Halo does.
Right.
So you used to have just Team Arena, which is a mix of Team Slayer, which is team deathmatch, Strongholds, which is basically like domination. If you play Call of Duty,
Yeah.
you get the 3 zones, or Control in
Control.
Destiny.
Yeah.
And then you have Capture the Flag, and basically until this year, or until our previous quarter, Team Arena was what you played in Team Arena is what the professionals played. They just played Team Arena. They played a rotation of those 3, in either a best of 5 or best of 7.
Mm-hmm.
And now what they did is they separated Team Arena to where it's, hey, you start off with assault rifle, you start off with a pistol, and here are the weapon placements and all that type of stuff to make it more fun for your casual. But there's also a new playlist called the HES Summer 2017. And what that is it's the Halo Championship League. And basically it's, if you play that mode, it's the exact same mode that the professionals are playing in the next summer league. And basically the changes are like, you only start with a pistol. There's no assault rifles. There's not a lot of weapon placements in the game. So what it does is it forces you, if there's gonna be a weapon your team needs, your whole team's gonna have to go for it and all that type of stuff. Basically, it allows for more skillful. Like you're not gonna see a needler in the pro league probably at all, because that's hit scan. Because all you gotta do is kind of just hold the button if you're remotely close.
On, yeah.
Basically, all the weapon changes they did in the pro one are all ones that are like precise. Your sniper, your DMR, your battle rifle, your Magnum, which is the pistol. Guns that you gotta hit the head, man. You got to hit the head, and that's the hardest thing to do in these games is to get a headshot. And basically, like, they're not putting in guns that basically are OP. But then you could play Team Arena if you want that, you know? And I think that's what Destiny's going to have to do is they're going to have a mode that's like, hey, this mode's going to be rotated. It's going to be changed each time we change something for the professional league. And
we'll see how popular it is. I don't know.
I
don't know if there's like a huge esports demand for that kind of from Destiny. I don't know. I feel like they can get it from other games.
Well, Activision wants to do it.
I mean,
that's
yeah,
the thing.
Obviously,
Activision wants to do it, and if Activision
they see
wants
the
to do
market
it,
potential for it, so yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, man, if Halo with 343 can do it,
then Bungie, yeah,
then
can
Bungie
definitely-
can do it.
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is like these guys were known for competitive. They were the guys that everybody was laughing at when they said we're making a console shooter and we're going to make it succeed. And guess what happened? It succeeded. Everybody laughed at them when they said we're going to add all these features to multiplayer with Halo 2. They created matchmaking, guys. Bungie fucking created matchmaking. Just think about that. The one thing you no, you don't think about it. You click a button and a group of people pop up. And you get to play. Back in the day, dude, if you had a PC back in the day, you had to find everybody. Or you had to find a server.
Your server.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, man, I've played games that are only PC or server, and it fucking sucks. It's nice when you have both. If you're playing PC or if you're playing whatever.
Right.
Yeah, if you're only doing that, I mean, like, they created that. And then Halo 2 and 3 were thriving in the esports. It just esports wasn't as big as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, but esports is ridiculous. I mean, you know it. You're for a company that, you know.
Full disclosure.
Yeah, full disclosure. Yeah,
I work for High Risk Studios.
yeah, you know, and yeah, you work for a company that deals with that stuff. And is it important to your company?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Especially when we only make multiplayer exclusive games. Like
Yeah.
they're multiplayer
Yeah.
only.
but there's a good chunk of people who only play Crucible. You know.
Yeah.
And if you make a mode, as I'm telling you, is just like, did we want smartphones in 2005 and 6? No, because we didn't know we wanted them.
Sure.
It wasn't until we saw it that we wanted it.
Yeah.
And if anybody's going to make a great, balanced, competitive mode that's bare bones, that's more your traditional shooter, Bungie's the one that can
And
do
even
it,
if they
man.
don't figure it out at start, we've already learned from Destiny 1 that they support this game like no other company does. Like constantly updating, improving, listening to the community. So obviously they're going to be paying attention to all parts of the game, especially esports and PvP.
I think they need to simplify the guns.
Yeah.
I think
for that mode, yeah, for sure.
For the for the mode, I think this should
In
just
general.
be everybody gets these 2 guns.
Yeah.
Everybody starts off with these 2 or 3 guns or something.
We'll see how they balance it.
Um,
Speaking about networking or like finding players and how they kind of innovate that, they're going to be doing something that we're going to talk about with
guided games?
with raids. Yeah.
everything, yeah. Guide game's gonna work with everything.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, the thing we gotta say before that is clans are gonna be fully integrated into the game.
In the game.
Inside of the game, you don't have to go to Bungie Net to join the clan and all that stuff. You can. It's all in there, which is great. And I was like, that's cool news. But they're like, we got another thing to tell you. So we know that strikes, are okay enough to do matchmaking because it doesn't you don't need as much talent to really do
Or
it.
coordination.
Or
really.
coordination as
You're kind of just going through
as a
shooting
team.
a bunch of people.
Yeah, which is great for what it is. But you have things like the Nightfall strikes that add a whole level of difficulty and a whole level of strategy that a whole team needs to communicate with. And of course, raids are the penultimate. They're the pinnacle of strategy when it comes to Destiny, or it comes to any first-person shooter, really, because they're really the only ones that have really done raids. And because of that, they didn't allow matchmaking at all for Nightfall strikes or raids. But what they're doing now is what they're calling guided games, to where if you're in a clan that needs a few more people, you can set out an invite to people, and the people who are also looking for a game for that are going to see that and be able to accept it. So let's say, for example, our friend Andy isn't in our clan and us 4 are playing, and we need and we got one other person. We need the 6th person for our raid. We are able as a clan to set out an invite, and we sit there and I'm assuming wait for a minute, and it starts hitting people who are also looking to join this one specific raid at this specific level, and they get to look at your clan, see the information, see your mottos, see how many people are in it, and they're able to either accept or deny it depending on that. And what that allows is what they were trying to say, and what I basically assumed at that point is what they're trying to do is they're trying to make clans the thing in Destiny, which I think it could be. And what they're doing is they're giving incentives. So if we're in a clan together, everything I'm doing, whether it's solo or playing with you guys, we all get rewards for it. Right. So if I play a match of Crucible, that goes up to that pushes up our clan to the next reward. So they're giving incentives. You're gonna get loot basically from being in a clan, with whatever you do. So it's incentivizing you to get in a clan, and it's incentivizing you to try to get other people in your clan. You know, sometimes what I fell into is I joined a clan of people I knew, but then all those people dropped off, and I was like, "Fuck! I'm in a clan that literally no one's playing Destiny in anymore." And it'd be cool if I could, you know,
it's not much of a clan.
It's not really.
Yeah.
Or you just can't get 6 people or 3 or 4
Right.
people, you know, for whatever mode
nobody's
you're
online.
Yep.
Right, at that moment.
and it's hard to coordinate that shit, man.
Yeah.
And it really is. And, you know, with how it is now, you have to allow the person to join your clan and then see if they're good enough. This is, you know, it's just making it easier.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing that what they're trying to do with Destiny 2 is make it easier. Make it streamlined. Don't make it this cumbersome bullshit. Hey, you gotta go to Destiny.com or .net to look at Grimoire cards and create a clan and do this and do that. They're trying to get all this stuff in the game. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah. I think in the grand scheme of things too, I think this is gonna help kind of just online in general on consoles and just in general that how people have fallen away from this whole idea of meeting new people online, becoming friends with them, developing this relationship, communicating on headsets. Like, it's something that we've kind of lost, I think, from multiplayer games over the last few years.
Definitely, man.
And
I mean, think of how
I
many
think this
people...
could easily bring it back because you're literally just bringing in a stranger to play with you. You guys experience these awesome things together in the game. You share that experience, and then you develop a relationship there.
Yeah, think of how many people use a mic right now in chat as opposed to Halo 3 or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare when it first came out. Look how many people... Everybody had a fucking mic on back then. I mean, you know, pros and cons. A lot of people talking about fucking your mother.
Right.
But
there's going to be a lot of trolls. There's definitely going to be a lot of trolls.
Yeah, but then basically this allows you to cater it. Yeah. You get to cater your...
And I'm sure there'll be a kick option. If somebody sucks or if somebody's a troll.
I already saw it.
Yeah,
they were
just
showing
kick them straight out.
In the video.
Right.
Yeah, you're able to boot that player whenever and all that type of stuff. Yeah, let's get all this out real quick.
Okay.
Talking about raids and Nightfall. Not only can you get to them through guided games, but they're actually open to every single player now.
Oh,
so someone like Greg who wasn't able to, hey, I can't get to the max light level because it's so fucking hard to get there.
Such bullshit.
Now,
wait, is that how it works now? It's just unlocked from the get go.
Yeah. Like,
so
you'll be able to
see.
I mean, I don't know how they're gonna figure it out, but they basically said like all the content in the game you can play. There's no more walls or barriers to play it. Like,
see, I thought by walls or barriers they meant like a wall or barrier where it's like, hey, I just don't know anybody else playing Destiny, and I like this game, but I only play by myself, and I don't want to use L for G, so I'm just shit out of luck, and I can never play raids. That's what I thought they were talking about.
Because they were mentioning how people just missed out on raids altogether because they just didn't get to that point in the game.
Yeah, they're saying that, hey, this the coolest thing in our game. Most people aren't able to
because everybody says the raids are the best part of Destiny.
Oh, they are.
They are. They really are.
And I've literally played one.
Which Vault of Glass?
Yeah.
That's the only one you
need
to play.
Really?
Ooh, the
Crota, though.
Not even Crota. The Taken King one is amazing, too.
King's Fall?
Yeah, King's Fall.
Never played it.
Oh, bro.
See, we haven't even played all the raids.
No, we played it and we got to that one part.
Oh, yeah, you got stuck. I've actually beat
But everything till that was not as good as...
no.
Vault of Glass to me.
But I mean, the only other one before that one was just Crota.
I think Crota was better. I liked Crota.
Crota better than but you never beat King's Fall.
Yeah,
So-
I never saw the last two main bosses, but yeah. So those are gonna be open to everybody, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then we saw 3 abilities instead of 2 abilities for
Yes.
every single.
Yes.
Okay, now I can ask.
Please.
What are you guys going? What class are you guys gonna go as?
Oh, I'm going
Warlock.
Titan start off.
Woo, that
I'm-
Dawnblade, son.
I'm switching
Dude,
it
that
up.
Dawnblade looks sick.
Because I'm a diehard Warlock, but that shield, I'm going to go Captain America ham on
That
these
looks-
people.
Yeah, no, yeah,
It
yeah.
looks so sick.
Yeah, this is the last. This is the last note.
As soon as they showed that you could throw the shield, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Titan from the beginning.
It did look dope. Yeah, so they got it looks like one new super for at least one new super for every single Guardian. So Warlocks have a Dawn Guard, which you basically bring out this big ass sword,
Yep.
and you can do this like airstrike to where you go straight down, or you pop up in the air and float, and you start throwing, or you start like hitting your sword out there or swinging it, and it's bringing these huge ass flames
Yeah.
that are decimating everything you see, and it's
Looks really
fucking
cool.
badass. It's basically their version of like the Titan hammer. The was it Hammer of Dawn or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's kind of theirs. Then Titans have the dope shield super like you're talking about.
The dope shield.
That's called Sentinel. It's fucking dope, dude.
That's the official name.
Yeah.
And then
Dope
Hunters
shield
yeah,
super.
Hunters have
They're
Arc
a bow
Strider.
staff.
It's no, it's a staff.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
saying
it's
both
a bow
sides.
staff.
That they are
Makes you
able to-
Nighthawk.
Yeah, it literally does.
Yeah, it's
Or
not
Robin.
that great. It was like whatever. So I'm
Hey,
definitely not.
It's
being,
definitely stylish and cool looking.
That's
I
why,
think,
yeah.
But is it really that much different than Arcblade?
We still don't know yet.
Yeah, that's kind
It's
of a
not
fair
that-
point.
I-
Though
I
it looks
watched
like
it
it's
and
the
I was
same.
like,
It's just
the
a different
gameplay
weapon.
looks the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's basically Arcblade. Yeah, there's probably going to be new moves with it and stuff like that. But I was like, you look at the other two and they're just much different than what you had in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
While Arc Strider was like, it's kind of more the same. But whatever. Fuck Hunters.
Damn.
Damn.
But yeah, so looks like there's still going to be light level. I remember that, but I think everything. We
So
got
it
no
looks like-
beta date, and then we got no like we said, we got no specs for the console.
Yeah.
Those are my
And they showed some
worries.
new weapons and things, like we said before, the Gatling gun.
Yep.
And like some kind of like plasma rocket launcher kind of thing.
Dude, that thing was sick. Where it shot like 4 rounds at once.
Yeah.
Mhm. That grenade launcher is gonna be my new.
And the
thing,
grenade
dude.
launcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it showed, I think, with a lot of the single player, like kind of mini bosses
Yeah.
strewn throughout instead of like
Yeah, the ones that have names
you're just
on 'em.
shooting through a bunch of minions, and then you get to the one boss.
Yeah.
Like it kind of was in Destiny 1.
yeah.
I think it'll give you more higher level
Yeah.
kind of opponents to face.
My only thing I'm kind of worried about is like I know that the campaign's gonna be fun when we're talking about it from a story perspective.
Yeah.
But like the gameplay we saw today, it didn't do anything new. It was literally the same exact mission structure that we got from every single mission in Destiny. And the main issue with Destiny 1 was everything felt the same.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they'll switch it up because, like, what Bungie likes to do is they'll throw in vehicles or something like that to kind of change up the pace of just, walking around shooting things and
Yeah, when
then
they
just
showed that
doing
clip
more
of the
walking.
tank, that was weird.
Yeah, they showed the tanks a few times, and I think they'll have something like that, like tank missions.
I'm totally down with that. I want full fucking missions to where you just
Or maybe
in.
something where you get in the turret of a ship
You know,
and
I
then
That'd be
do
awesome.
that.
You know what? And I've gotten to the point to where I'm okay if this game. I'm completely fine if space combat is not a thing.
Right.
But
Probably saving that
really
for
want
Destiny
something
3.
like Banshees, dude. I want
Thinking
no, but
way
I want
ahead.
I want stuff
Yeah.
like Banshees and Halo.
That
to
would
come
be
back.
awesome.
Like
I really wish
air
there were
combat.
air vehicles and
Yeah.
space combat or air
we don't
combat.
need. Yeah. Hey. I know. Is space combat too hard to do? I bet it is, dude. I bet that shit's fucking hard. Because how would you even make it seamless unless you're hiding it behind a cutscene? But like, and I'm fine with it not being there. But like, I just want the fun. Like, I just want that fun Halo shit again.
Yeah, for sure.
With vehicles, they fucking did vehicles amazing, and I'm like, why are you abandoning something that was so, like, fundamentally amazing? It's something that made Halo. So, I want them to do it. I want them to do stuff like that. I'd like some really cool, like, going into a big ass ship, and doing some cool things with like movement and stuff like that they did in like Halo 2 and stuff like that, and have these big grand ships and maybe teleporting to one place and not knowing where you are and cool shit like that. So Windows 10 trying to
Fucking Microsoft, get the fuck out of here.
you know how it is, man.
Remind
Question,
me later.
Since we know that most of the things are getting restarted, and it looks like we have new subclasses, do you think they're going to allow? Do you think we're gonna have 2 subclasses again, or do you think we're gonna all be stuck to one to have it to where they want you to coordinate more with the other classes like Titans and Hunters?
This is what I'm thinking though. Like, we saw that there's no bubble really. There's a shield that you pop up and it protects you from that one area, or at least I'm assuming. But didn't the Warlock shoot a fucking thing out too, like a defensive thing?
Yeah, so this is what I brought up earlier in the text message.
Maybe it's not another super.
Yeah, it seems like you get 3 kind of powers, because from the gameplay I saw, it showed like 3 little icons next to where your guns and ammo are on the HUD. So how I interpreted that was that you have kind of like a ranged ability, and then you have like a melee kind of ability or close range ability, and then you have a defensive ability.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I could be wrong, but that's just kind of how I interpreted it.
I think one of them's still grenade, and I think one of them's still your melee ability.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So
yeah,
range. Okay, my bad. That makes sense. Grenade, range. Okay, totally makes sense. My bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, instead of having a defensive super like a Titan to where you shoot your bubble out, you just have a defensive. That's fine with me. I think that would be great because one, it's less stuff for them to balance. I think they need to make less choices between like when you open up your super. I just think they need to simplify supers. Like they just really need to, man.
Yeah.
And they need to make supers to where they're not affecting a lot of your abilities.
I think it'd be cool in the single player, instead of like, for example, switching from the Nova Bomb to
Sunsinger.
Yeah, Sunsinger. They just have both of those readily available to you.
Yeah.
At all times.
That'd be nice.
Which, like, for multiplayer would probably be a huge balancing issue and would not work. But it, like, in the single player, you just have the freedom to choose that at any time instead of having to like go into the menu, switch out that as if it's a separate class or something. Where it's more of like an ability.
I think that'd just be a fucking balancing hell. That sounds like a ridiculous balance hell.
I don't know if they simplify it somehow.
Because something like, I'm not trying to bring it up because you work there, but it's easy because you work there. Paladins, you can't switch your legendary card at the beginning. You choose your legendary card, and hey, when I do Androxus and I choose the one that gives me 50% more damage on headshots, I choose that, and that's it. I have to deal with that one legendary card for the rest of the match. If you want to change your super, you can't change it until the end of the match. I think that's, if they're doing multiple subclasses, those are the type of things they're going to have to do because every game does that.
But you've always been allowed to change your super on the fly in Crucible. I
know, and I'm saying from now on, if they do something, that might be something that they would have to do balancing a little bit better.
But that's weird. I thought they had the perfect thing where it's, let's say I'm a Sunsinger, right? And my super is maxed out. I can't automatically go to a Nova.
Yeah, and it would go back to
it just
zero.
drains it, yeah.
I don't know.
Because, then there's no point for you to change on the fly because if you keep changing every second, you never have a super.
Oh, you never have a super, yeah. Yeah, and that's how they would balance it. I'm just throwing out ideas. I don't know. I just, maybe simplifying them enough to where it doesn't matter anymore. I just think it's kind of like, it's just my issue is like, and then what I noticed something between like Paladins and Overwatch, I don't like that I can sit there and you can't, like in Paladins, you choose your character. That's it. You play that guy for the rest of the match. You cannot change that guy anymore. So, you either man up or you go in a corner and hide. Like
Damn.
But basically like what Paladins does, you choose your character and you're like, damn, we're getting our ass whooped. No, instead of changing your character, you have to change your tactic with the character you chose. See, that's one thing I love about Paladins more than I love Overwatch. Is to where Overwatch, you can sit there and change whenever the fuck you want.
I kind of like that. I think it allows you to adapt to the situation. So then, if your team isn't holding up like one end where you really need something,
Well, we're only
then you
talking
can
about.
take that.
What I'm saying is, we're dealing with 3 different types of characters, as opposed to Overwatch.
How
with
many
25.
different characters and classes they have? Yeah.
Yeah. So
and
there's
play
4
types.
classes, but there's also 6 characters in each class you can choose in Overwatch.
Sure.
So like that makes a little bit more sense because you have 26 characters to work with now. But you only have 3, and that's my issue. Is like, I think it's cheap. I think it's cheap competitively. If you're sitting there sucking because you have Nova Bomb on, it's just like, no, dude, you have to get better with Nova Bomb if you want to. Then
Sure.
Learn how to use Nova Bomb better, or next match don't choose Nova Bomb. You know?
Yeah.
It works with like PvE, but like I think
mean,
it's
that's
kinda
all I
cheap.
care about anyways. I just care about PvE.
Yeah.
I just care about this campaign
It's just
being
gonna, I
like
think it's
so
gonna,
much
I think it's
better,
gonna force better
and just playing
competition.
co-op
Yeah.
everything with my friends. That's all.
So
I
like
care
you
about.
gotta what you probably get 1 or depending on how good you are, 1 to maybe 2 supers in a game.
Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is if you're playing in defensively because you guys are getting pushed in a particular game mode, I don't know, and you have a Titan, but he decided because he wanted to be, he wanted to be the most brutal person out there. He chose a attack.
Hardcore dude.
He chose an attack
Yeah.
subclass as opposed to a defensive subclass.
So brutal.
But you guys needed something defensively or something like that, or you needed the coordination. He'd be able to change on the fly, but you're like, well, no, we needed you to be defensively 30 seconds ago, but now you're switching, and then, damn, we don't need that anymore. What it's going to allow you now is like, should I go defensively? Because I can't change it. I can't change it at all anymore. So do I? Because I know we're going to spawn on this point in this map, and I know these 2 chokeholds, so I'm going to decide to use a subclass that's going to allow me for a more defensive approach, so we can control that chokehold. You know? It allows for just more competitive stuff as opposed to that didn't work, let me change it. Like that's my issue is like with you changing everything, there's no consequence anymore.
But I mean, there's never been one though.
But
Other
the
than you
consequence in
losing
Halo
your
was
super-
everybody's the even playing field. That's what I'm saying is like if they want to get competitive, what all these other competitive games are doing is they're giving a more even playing field, or they allow you to have a more even playing field. Well, this is like, I'll just change it whenever.
They gotta figure that out. What I want to ask you guys is like, what was your like the coolest thing you saw, I guess, and then like what you were most disappointed about from what we saw today.
Me, the coolest things I saw was honestly how they are having you have, like Nathan said, what's the kinetic weapon, the weapon that has like elemental damage,
Yeah.
and then your power weapon.
How they changed up all that.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then honestly, another thing too, which and I can see that you're excited about it too, is now if this is the only super we have, the super has, it looks like the Titan, you have your shield, so it's a defensive and it's an offensive super. Same thing with everybody's super now is like offensive. It's not just a thing that you use once and it's gone.
Because it looks like they're taking defense out. Maybe that's what they do. Is everybody has that defensive ability.
Yeah.
Your own, whether it's everybody has a shield or everybody has their own particular ability for Titans and Warlocks and Hunters.
Right.
And supers are just going to be offensive now.
Doing
Which
a
it
bunch
would
of
be
damage
awesome.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead
And that
of,
would deal with the balance issue I'm bringing up.
Right.
I'm fine with that. I hope that's what it is. I hope everybody has a defensive ability, no matter what class you choose, and your super is an offensive ability.
Yeah.
You know, because no one wants. How badass is it then when you pop a bubble? It's not fucking badass. But then you fucking do storm trance or not storm trance. What's it called? Is it storm? Arc? No.
It is Storm Trance. If you're
Storm
talking
Trance
about
is dope too.
the
The
Yeah.
lightning,
Palpatine
force
thing.
lightning. Yeah.
You turn into fucking Palpatine and you start levitating. You start just killing people. That's so much cooler than a fucking bubble.
Yeah.
You know?
Fuck bubbles.
I mean, they
Bubble
work,
buddy.
but like now you don't have to worry about what class should I take. No, the Titan always has a bubble of some sorts now.
Some kind of
Yeah,
defense.
that wall. That,
Yeah.
that we
It
saw.
also allows for a lot of PvE stuff to not be broken anymore, because I remember so many times like in
You gotta wait on the bubble to recharge.
waiting on the bubble to recharge, so you're just sitting there farming.
Yeah.
Or because that bubble, it looks like the bubble in this one breaks. I don't
Oh,
know
what
if
are you
guys
talking about?
noticed that.
You're talking about
Or
the wall.
shield wall that they're doing now.
See, I don't know. That's another thing too. I don't know if it breaks or if it's just a thing that stays up there for a specific amount of time.
Duration. Yeah.
Because when
it looked like glass. Though,
that's what I was gonna
at
say.
one
When he
point.
first uses it, it doesn't even look like it's been damaged. It just looks like it's all cracked up already from the get go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I saw him there's once where you see it where it's already taking damage, so you can't tell if that's how it is. And then there's like for a glimpse, you see the guy do something with his hands, and he drops
the
the
front
shield.
view of him.
Yeah.
So you get to see like his face,
And
you
he
get to
drops
see
it, and it's
it
already
drop in
like
front
it
of
looks
him.
like it's cracked up glass.
Yeah, I just didn't notice the glass until like shots started to come. So my brain was thinking that it started turning into shards because of the shooting. That makes sense. No, it would allow for God. It was a House of Wolves. What was the game mode? They didn't give you a raid, but they did that.
Oh, you're talking about Prison of the Elders?
Challenge, yeah, the Prison of Elders. So like, there was this guy to where you would basically just go in this corner, and then dude would pop a bubble, and you guys just go in the bubble and you shoot, and then you wait to the next bubble, and then now you have a shield that could break or something like that, and it only gives you a small amount of area, and it's not giving you like shield boosts or anything like.
Less exploitation.
Yep.
And if there is anything I've been disappointed with this trailer, I mean, what they showed was, I was honestly hoping, I was telling Nathan about this, I didn't want them to, this has nothing to do with the game being 60, but at the same time, it could honestly lead to why they didn't do anything like this. I wish they would have added like a dodge roll element with everybody, or like a side skirt like they have in Halo. I just wanted the game to kind of be like,
A slide.
yeah,
A little bit more agile.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they have a slide. I forgot.
Yeah.
Destiny has a slide.
But the issue is they might not be able to do that and it work with the gameplay because it is capped at 30 on console now. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like all these games are everything now is about how agile you are. And then I'm just scared that this is just going to be looked at as like the old person shooter because it's slow. And that's not what Bungie was about back in the day. It's kind of weird how they just like are deciding to just kind of stay in their ways while the whole internet's like.
See, I wouldn't
60.
even say old person shooter. I'd say they're just honestly from what it looks like doubling down on what they wanted this to be from the beginning. And the guy was even saying it when he was talking about this like he's like, me and my brother don't talk about work anymore. We talk about Destiny. They just want this to be like as social as possible.
Yeah. But if they want it to be as social as
They
possible,
talked a lot about community, and
Yeah.
they focused a lot on the campaign because so many people fell out of that game because the campaign was non-existent.
Yeah.
In the first
Well, I
one.
mean, it was not.
Yeah,
existent.
it was not a game. Like it was nothing.
It's the one of the most broken campaigns. I remember it finished, and I was like,
That's it.
"Wait,
That's
wait,
it.
that was the end?
Right.
Wait, there's literally no more after that." I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. How about you, Gabe? What are your pros? What's your big pro?
Well, from what I've seen so far, like definitely the story aspects was grabbing me the most. That's why I fell off Destiny.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the Crucible, like honestly, I would have sold that game a lot earlier than I did. And like I was really hoping they would show more Crucible stuff, because I love the PvP stuff. Like I'm not so much into the PvE. I couldn't care less. But like, dude, that Crucible was so much fucking fun.
It was
until it got unbalanced.
It was unbalanced.
No, because
what
I fell off
happened we weren't learning the meta yet.
Yeah.
It's when people cracked the Destiny meta that game just literally just shit itself. Because remember, Yeah, it was an imbalance, but like we didn't have the information we had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody was new to the game, so everybody was playing it how they played other games, and it worked. And it wasn't until everybody realized that Thorn was the fucking OP gun and Last Order was the other OP gun, and then everybody used those two guns. And if you didn't have one of those two guns, you're fucked.
Yeah. If you don't have a Gallahorn,
bro,
you can't play with us.
There's one point.
I never once got a Gallahorn.
I got one.
Bro, I had like 3.
I don't give a fuck.
I got one when they fucking nerfed it. The week after they nerfed it, and
It's
I was like,
just a
"Thanks,
fucking
bitch."
rocket launcher.
Yeah,
But they made it such an important weapon, right?
Yeah, because you
For
can
you to
galley
like
burn
do
bosses.
so much damage in raids or whatever.
and that's another thing that You know, what did they do with exotics, man? Like, they didn't talk anything about balance, and the biggest issue with Destiny, I think, right now is balancing. You know, the biggest issue is bullet tracking and disappearing bullets, and dedicated servers will fix that, but they didn't say anything about dedicated servers. It's just weird. It was just weird because they're like, campaign-wise, we're gonna give you all the fucking info you want. But the real shit that everybody's been complaining about that's still a Destiny player in within the past year, we're not going to tell you anything. So it's kind of weird because, like, the whole conference was catering to the people who stopped playing Destiny a long time ago.
Right.
But it never really catered to the people who've been supporting Destiny
I
this
feel
whole
like that's
time.
going to come with the beta.
Yeah.
And maybe E3.
It'll come with E3.
Maybe E3.
It'll come
We'll
with
see.
E3.
Yeah.
Because the beta's going to be after E3, I'm assuming.
Dude, honestly, that's another thing, too, is the way they did this, it literally seemed like this is going to be like a 2-part thing where they're like, we're giving you this taste right now of Destiny 2, and then the rest we're going to show you at E3 and the rest of the summer.
I think they're going to...
It's just such a huge game. Like, there's
Yeah.
only so much they can go into. Because they're like, okay, here's an
But
hour.
how long does it
Right, we
say-
have an hour, because if we go any more than that, nobody's going to pay any fucking attention to
That's
this
true.
shit.
But they can
So-
they can say that we are changing Crucible 2 times, but they can't put one sentence to where they say and dedicated servers will be a thing.
Right.
You know, those are the. I'm literally like, our complaints are these small 1-sentence things they could have slid in there, and it would have made people like me and Humu put.
Bungie just needs to
Hundreds
do
of
like
hours.
directs like Nintendo does.
Dude, that's what I said. That's what
They
I
just
said.
do that like every month, right?
No, see,
Inform everybody
I like
what's
their
going
smaller
on.
ones where it's Deej and 2 other people, and they talk like that.
Yeah.
Do it with, you know, the 5 people that were on stage. They didn't need to do an event with people in there. They should have done that and said, hey, we have this broadcast, and then everybody else in the back is watching the broadcast on a big TV, and then they get up and they go and play the game just like they did today. You know, we didn't need some big ass event because there's so much time between people walking in, walking out. Hey, how you doing? Breaking the ice, all that shit. That there could have been more information that we could have had.
I guess so.
So that
I
dude
think it's
that
just the thing to do now because like I felt like that Call of Duty one was like you didn't need that to bring all those people in to show
Bro,
them
I'm
a
just
couple
saying, yeah.
trailers like
yeah, but for the
Yeah.
information, that they gave in this, I didn't think they needed that many. And it's because it's weird. It was weird how they just went from like Vidoc to reveal to
Right.
Vidoc to
Vidoc, yeah.
reveal to Vidoc to reveal, and I'm just like, and here's the official trailer, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. It was jarring. I don't know. I think what they should have done is they should have given you all the good news in this, and maybe that's what they did, and everything we wanted to be good news is actually bad news. So,
But was anyone else surprised when they show? I mean, they didn't show him, but when what's his name, Gaul talks in English. That,
yeah.
that blew my mind.
he sounded badass, man.
Yeah,
Talking about some my pros. One's is like how they're delivering this story. That's my pro. That's my biggest pro. Is like it seems like story wise, maybe not game design wise. I don't know yet because we've only seen one mission and it was pretty standard Destiny mission
Right.
structure. But the actual story itself, we're getting an intriguing villain that's we're talking about Guardians and the villain between Ego and
It's very similar,
McCree.
actually. You have
Very
strong central characters. You have a strong villain who isn't just out to destroy the world
no,
and
he
kill
thinks
all of
he
humanity.
thinks he
Like
thinks
he has
that
a
the light,
motive, and it's like a motive that you can kind of
Get
relate
behind.
to, or
Yeah.
kind of be like, okay, I can see why you're doing this.
Yes,
Not
And-
necessarily agree with it, but
No,
like,
but it's
yeah.
kind of just giving me Halo 2 vibes.
Sure.
To where, like, you know, from the very get-go in Halo 2, you know why the Arbiter fucked up. He was the one that controlled the Halo that was destroyed in the first one.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's just, it was religious almost when he was being tortured at the beginning of Halo 2.
Yeah.
And then they take him and turn him into the Arbiter, which is basically turning him into a suicidal hero. You know, the mission that they were giving him was suicidal, and they told him that at the beginning.
Right.
And you're like, wow, like these prophets, the little weird ET creatures, the main bad guys in Halo that are in the little hoving thing. They're like, wait. So they're tricking everybody into like this religious cult, but really they're doing everything because of political reasons and political gains. And I'm just like, wow, like I can relate to that because that's how the real world is.
Yeah.
So like, you know, it's kind of boring when we get a bad guy that's just like, I want to blow up everything, you know, because like, and when we get that with like, you know, terrorists, I guess you'd say, but like an intriguing bad guy, no.
Something you also kind of brought up was like with everything we fought in Destiny 1, it's like, okay, here's another bad guy we're gonna squash because we're fucking guardians and that's what we do. Whereas this guy, it's like,
that's another con too.
I don't know,
though.
he might kill off some of my friends here. Like some of these main characters might die by the end of this game.
Yeah. It was an issue I had with Destiny 1 too.
6.
Yeah. This isn't my con. My con is the 60 frames. I don't think is my biggest con. My biggest con is that they didn't say anything about dedicated servers.
Yeah. You wanted like more, like you kind of, I mean, not necessarily like just specs, but you wanted more spec and kind of information and more details like that.
The stuff that's going to really matter 150 hours into this game.
Right.
You know? And that's what I'm saying. I think that's the argument I was trying to have. Yeah, the 30 frames when you're playing it for the first couple hours is going to be amazing, but at one point you're going to get tired of it. And also, like, if this is what they're going to support for the next 3 years, and I'm telling you, in 2018 and in 2019 and in 2020, every single multiplayer shooter is going to be 60 frames a second. Even a game as slow and tactical as Rainbow Six Siege is 60 frames a second on console, you know? So those, it's not the biggest con. Mine's dedicated servers. I mean, like, I will not play Crucible if dedicated servers are not in this game. Because one, it's fucking unbelievable that they didn't do it in
He says
one.
that now until he sees all the gear you can get from Crucible, and he's like, all right, I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to play. But he's going to keep playing. He's going to be playing, just complaining the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's like, God,
That's
this
what
would be
that's
so
what
much
I was.
better
That's
with
what I was doing
dedicated
when
servers.
last time I was playing Destiny. I was like, "Fuck, man, I am literally like 3 kills away on this bounty to get a fucking like weekly Crucible gear."
Yeah.
But yeah, my biggest con is gonna be dedicated servers. But another con I was bringing up, I'm trying to remember what you were just saying. What were you just mentioning?
Campaign,
I can't
villain
remember.
being all powerful.
Yeah, I
Goblin
can't remember.
G.
But no,
It might come to you.
yeah, it might come to me, whatever. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just, yeah, there's some information that they're kind of quiet about that it's kind of making me worry because, you know, if it was good news, they would have said it. So there's something there.
Yeah. Gabe?
Oh, you already said his.
No, I already talked.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
Thanks,
Damn.
Greg.
Yeah. I just don't listen when Gabe speaks.
I don't even know
So-
why I come here.
Anything else, anybody?
I mean, I'm just gonna say mine real quick.
Oh,
I mean, for me, it's just being able to play all this content and not be like,
Yeah.
left out. Because whether it's gonna be, you know, playing the raid with my clan, who I'm gonna have in the game, or just if I hop into with another clan, I'm gonna be able to play through every single thing the game has to offer. So that alone will make the game worth my $60. Kind of unlike how the first one was.
Shout out to Devin.
Devin's in here.
I was like, what the fuck did she say?
And then I guess my cons, yeah, like we already mentioned, I would like to see some kind of aerial combat or space combat or something because they
Dude,
give it
that'd
this,
be awesome.
they give us these cool ass ships, and they design these cool ass ships, and you don't do anything with them other than see them in orbit,
Yeah,
and then see them when you fly to a planet, and they don't do anything.
they do.
It
Sucks.
if there's some way that was actually in the game,
Meaningful.
yeah, that you
At least
piloted
just give me
them or did
meaning
something
to
with
it,
them.
you
Yeah,
know?
right.
Like, that's at least a step. No, I remember what I was gonna say. I feel like they introduced too many enemies in the first one to where, like, what were the new enemies we got in this? Like the little creature that the Cabals have, and then new Cabals. You know, kind of sucks that, like, dude. I wish they
What
just
creature,
made
the dog?
yeah, the
Oh,
dog
okay.
things. It almost makes me wish, like, they didn't even put Cabal in the first one, and Cabal was a brand new
In this
villain,
one, yeah.
a brand new enemy. You know, we had so many enemies in the first one that I was just like, fuck, man, this is like 3 covenants right here. You know, because like not only, and you're like, well, no, because the covenant had like 3 species. No, like every like fucking was it Vandals? Or I'm just drawing a blank right now.
You talking about the Fallen?
The Fallen have fucking Vandals and
Reavers.
Reavers. They have like as many species as like the Covenant have.
Right.
And then we're not even talking about the Vex. And that's not even including the Cabal. You know? It kind of sucks that it looks like they put too much enemies in the first game to where it's just like, what are the new ones? We're basically just getting reformatted enemies now.
No, yeah, I mean, I honestly think that's how they're going to keep doing it from now on. Just
That's
because
a bummer,
of
though.
how they did it with the splicers, where the splicers are a different type of Fallen. I think the Red Legion is going to be a different type of Cabal than anything we've seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, see, that's where, like, I'm
And they might
kind of
make
okay
it
with
so
it.
that I don't know. I might have misinterpreted, but like, is the Red Legion exclusively Cabal only?
Yeah, Red Legion is only Cabal.
Like, so no other race or species could join the Red Legion? Oh, okay.
No.
What did Andy say?
I don't care what Andy said. He's saying they were trying to do a lot in the first game early on, and then obviously, like, yeah, development hell towards
Well,
launch.
then cut it, man. They cut so much other shit.
Yeah,
Cut the enemies.
But I mean,
but at least that gave variety because
Yeah.
there was no story.
There was enough variety, I think, with just the Vex and. I mean, honestly, most of that game had no
but they
Cabal
didn't
in
flesh
it.
any of it out, so it's like, yeah, you're shooting robot Vex people, and you're like, all right.
But it kind of like I don't know,
Why-
like how
like, what are
cool
they
would it have
doing?
been if we saw this reveal trailer with the Cabal and we didn't know what the Cabal were?
Yeah.
Because how many times did we play the Cabal in Destiny 1?
but I mean, honestly,
I'm just
though,
excited to see another side of them, or
Yeah.
like get more of that fleshed out.
Yeah,
It'll be cool, yeah, because like they have different motives than the other
Right.
Cabal. So that'll be interesting to me, and that'll definitely be interesting lore-wise because that reminds me of Halo a lot.
Oh, I do want to
See,
see
that's what I'm
more.
saying,
I want to see
though.
more Osiris too.
because with the Cabal,
Same, dude. Same, but you know that's gonna be fucking DLC because that's the first DLC.
Yeah,
but
I
that's
guess.
fine with me, man. That's fine with me. Give me a whole. I wish the whole Destiny 2 was fucking Osiris, but that's just me being Egyptian cocksucker over here.
but
What
we
was
don't even know, is his aesthetic going to be fully Egyptian though?
I hope so, dude. That'd be fucking badass. He's in like a gold ass pyramid or something.
I mean, I see, just from what I know and I've heard about Osiris, I don't think he would be in anything like that. I mean, I think his like he would still be wearing clothes like that, but it
But
honestly
something like
seems
the
he just
lighthouse,
left.
though. But something like the lighthouse.
Oh, okay.
Have
now
you ever
I get
been
it.
in the lighthouse?
Yeah.
That's extravagant looking.
Yeah.
It's abandoned, so it could be an abandoned pyramid, but like, I don't know. That was definitely exotic looking
Yeah.
and breathtaking, and I hope it's breathtaking as well. But that's a whole nother conversation, man. I want them to go, and that's what's so exciting is we have all these characters, and I guess that's a good way to put it. Is we have all these characters that we don't know much about in the first one, and now we're able to really see what these characters can do.
And dude, especially the Cabal, it's the one we know the least of. And honestly, up until now, I really didn't even know the Cabal knew that much about the Traveler. And now this guy's talking
Same.
about the Traveler was like
Chose the wrong
Yeah.
people. Should have chosen him. Yeah.
That's a odd.
Because when you look at them initially in the first game, you just think they're like dumb brutes.
yeah.
It's like, what do they know?
he
and
said
then you
something
get
else.
yeah. I'll bring it up here in a second.
Okay,
But then you look
okay.
at Gaul, and he's like basically like a Thanos kind of character. Where
Yeah.
like this dude
Is
is
he talking about Gary?
Yeah, he's talking about Gary.
Gary, yeah. where he's like super intelligent, super all powerful. This like kind
It's
of just
cool
other
because he's not
being
just
that,
brute. Like
yeah.
he reminds me of the Arbiter, to where the Arbiter was, you know, he could fucking have his way in a fight, but he's also a genius.
Sure.
This guy seems like a really smart guy.
Yeah.
Especially with how they invaded in the first mission, and then his little
Like he timed it perfectly. Like he
Yeah.
knew
he knew
when
he
to
did
attack.
everything and
Yeah.
executed it perfectly.
Right.
I'm like, that's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
And I hope they put that into the character because we know that he did that, but like, show that, man. Have him fucking like, you know, let him be arrogant and like flaunt that shit that he's like this fucking smart ass general, you know.
I think it was so cool when they had the weather machines at the back of their ships, because remember how when the thing starts and they think it's so weird that it's like storming outside, and then you notice later on that storm is actually coming from the Cabal.
Dude, yes. When
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah.
you're like you see nothing, and then you get the lightning strike, and then
Yeah.
you see all of that whole armada because of the strike, the lightning strike, and you're like, oh shit, son, oh
They're here.
shit. It reminded me of the intro of Taken King, but it's Luke Smith, man, same guy.
So what Andy brought up was that he wants to see Grimoire in like the game, so that we don't have to go to the website to read all that lore.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And like I said, I hope they
just
do
have some way of
Yeah.
like
Maybe-
I mean, it could be just be what I enjoy in a lot of video games, interactive storytelling.
Yeah.
Where we get more things in the environment that like we pick up and we either play little like recorded docs or we read it in the game.
Or just have your ghost like
Instead of a
scan
pop up that
things.
just says here's Grimoire, go
Yeah.
read it when you have
Yeah, but
free
like
time.
something like what's his name? It was the god that you're trying to save, and then you get there and you find a skeleton. He's actually been dead for like 200 years.
No, yeah, but I'm saying though that's
do you
like
remember, do you remember that guy's name?
yeah, he's the guy who's at the end of the vault, but I can't remember his. I think it starts with a P. It might be
I know you. Praeus, something like that.
I think it is Praetus or
Praetus.
something. I can't
I think it's
remember.
Praetus. No, it's something like, hey, you find his dead body, but then there's like a note that he wrote, and you pick it up. I think Andy might be answering it, but no,
Praedyth.
Praedyth. That's it. Yeah, it'd be
Fucking
cool
nerd.
if he had like a note, and we got to see like, what were his last words, something like that. Just small things like that.
And I would like to, because it's in Rise of Iron. I would love for the ghost to talk more about what he's seen in the past, because he
Or just information he has.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because when you in Rise of Iron, one of the things he tells you is like, "I was looking for you for a long time."
And now
So-
you're looking for him at the beginning of this one.
Oh, the ghost? I thought it was the.
Aren't they
speaker.
controlled by light?
But
I think the
somehow-
Guardians are controlled by, but I think the ghosts are controlled by light because they were dead.
Yeah, but I don't think your ghost would necessarily leave you, because Zavala says it at some point in a whole montage of trailers where Zavala goes, "I don't think the light has come back to all the Guardians, but it's come back to us, like the selected few." Because he goes, "If the light came back to you, it can probably come back to us."
Maybe, dude. Because Luke, he said that you have to basically fight back, and I'm assuming, I guess that's at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty sick too. I just know that what they've always said in all these past games. I mean, in the past, like anything you played in Destiny, whenever you see a Guardian who doesn't have a ghost, they automatically die.
Well, yeah, the revive thing. Yeah, they definitely shared that in the beginning of the first cinematic trailer.
Yeah, because the guy
Which
he
is
lost
dope.
his ghost and he died. Because I mean, like his ghost was still alive.
Yeah, Zavala died like 3-4 times at the beginning.
Yeah,
When he was young, yeah.
That'd be cool. I'm super excited for it. I'm a little bit more skeptical than I wish I would have been, but maybe that's just me being picky. So we'll see.
We'll see what they show at E3.
no, yeah. I
Hopefully
just
it's
want to see more.
not since they already did this. Hopefully E3 is not single player stuff.
Yeah, I
or
hope
like
it's
if it
all-
is, maybe a little bit, but
or
not like
more
a whole
just
lot.
not campaign PvE.
Right.
No,
yeah.
it's gonna be it's literally. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a strike like they always do every time they PlayStation has something. It's gonna be the strike, and then they might show a glimpse of some PlayStation exclusive strike, and then give us a piece of Crucible, or be like, "Hey, later this week at E3, we're gonna show you Crucible."
It could, or they could show us a dope ass dungeon.
What do you
like
mean?
all the
oh,
activities.
the adventure stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be sick too.
That'd be cool.
I hope they really make those things cool, man. I
And
really
not,
hope they
not
do.
repetitive.
I would
where they're
take-
the same
yeah.
thing. Like
See-
it's just a reskin dungeon every single time.
I would take more of those things, and I would sacrifice strikes for that and shit like that.
Ooh,
Like, hey, give me 2 less strikes,
More
Give me-
explorative stuff.
2 less maps, and they're only doing 1 raid, so they're not being really like fucked over by that. And just hey, instead of putting all that time into more stuff for these things that I've already done a million times, invest it into something that's brand new for Destiny. So that's my only thing.
Give you more incentive to go out and explore with
I
your
wanna
friends
explore.
instead
I wanna-
of
I
like,
wanna- yeah.
let's go grind and do this. It's like maybe you just want to break and go out and do something other than fucking patrols that are all the same
Yep.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so
It's like let's go find a
Yeah.
like secret location that has a dungeon and go find whatever loot's in there.
I want them to make, even though they made the director streamline now to where I can choose wherever I want to go and not go into orbit.
Right.
Even though that's great, I want them to incentivize me not even to use it. I want them to incentivize me to go into this world and just go and have fun. And hey, Luther pops on. He jumps in right where I am, and then we start going on this adventure, and then we go into this lost sector, and we go in the European Dead Zone, and there's these fucking badass adventures that we can go on to. and it's seamless. And we go through this badass little dungeon, and then we go out of it, and then we just walk over to the next thing. Like that's what I wanted Destiny to be.
Right.
Because I remember doing patrols at the beginning and like doing it with friends and being like, damn, I wish this was more. I really wish this was more because, you know, I love strikes and I love going into these playlists for things, but there's so much world building that they can do that they just didn't do in one that looks like they're doing with this one. How about you, Gabe? You got anything else to add?
Nah.
Nah.
Nah. I mean, like I said, I never played as much Destiny as you guys did, so I quit like maybe a year into it. Maybe
That's
probably
longer
less.
than most, man.
Probably
Yeah.
less. Like honestly, I just care about the Crucible stuff. I don't care about anything else but that. I love that multiplayer. It's so good.
You might like the lore in this one, though. The
Yeah.
lore's. I think you'd like the lore if you actually.
No, I mean, the
knew
things
the
to-
lore.
Yeah, if they actually gave it to
Dude,
you.
that's what I'm telling you, man. When me and like Luther watch My Name Is Bife or something like that, and we finish this
Hey, shout out
13-minute
Bife.
story he just told us, we're like, "Fuck, man, that's cooler than anything in the fucking game."
But they don't want to put it in the game.
But the stranger though.
Boo.
Give me dragons.
Dude, if
That
we get
shitty
some
weapon.
Get some
Ahemkaras,
dragons.
dude, I'll be done. I probably will never leave Destiny again.
All right, well, I think that's it, man.
That's it.
Close us out.
And that was episode 28 of the Nerd Outlet podcast. You
Thanks
can
for
find
joining
us.
us, everybody, in the chat.
Oh yeah, everybody on Facebook Live, please and thank you for stopping by.
Yes, thank you.
Listen to our mixtape.
Yeah, it's kind of trending right now.
It's called Dirty Ponies.
Dirty pony.
Hey,
Shout out.
Presented by Nerd Outlet.
You guys would not endorse that.
but you guys can find us on Instagram at Nerd Outlet, on Twitter at Nerd Outlet, on Facebook /Nerd Outlet,
Yes.
and
We out.
Yeah, we're out.